Welcome to Mooring Mayhem. This is the conceptual design of a program I hope to build that will help others learn how to moor properly in the British Virgin Islands. The concept I will be using is a novelized story on how to pick up a mooring from a sailboat and overcoming what I'm calling the water gods. I will introduce several characters, including helmsman Harry and bowman Betty. We'll introduce the water gods, the god of wind, the god of no wind, the god of currents, the god of failure, the god of arrogance, and the god of ignorance. There are many water gods. We will also introduce the magic of communication with no volume. Our boats will have no yelling. We use hand signals. We'll introduce the proper technique for successfully picking up a mooring and releasing a mooring. The tools include a boat hook, a cleat hitch, and a mooring buoy with a floating pennant. I know it looks easy, but it's complicated. You approach the mooring from downwind at a speed that allows the boat to be steered. That's also called having way on. You slowly position the boat such that the bowman can pick up the mooring with the boat hook. The helmsman holds the boat in place while the bowman threads the mooring line through the thimble on the pennant and then securely cleats the line to the boat. And then you have a mooring beer. The water gods, however, are devious and determined. They take great sport and joy in watching you fail at picking up a mooring. The god of wind will show up from a different direction just as you are approaching the mooring and blows you off. The god of no wind shows up and you cannot stop the boat without it being kicked off course. The god of failure shows up and the boat hook breaks, or helmsman Harry runs over the mooring and catches it on his rudder or around his prop. The god of arrogance shows up and the lack of respect for the task cripples the effort. No one is happy and everyone is yelling. The god of ignorance shows up, and the lack of knowing what you don't know results in the cleat hitch slipping and the boat coming off the mooring, usually at 1 or 2 in the morning. The gods love yelling, so to get to them, we don't yell. Mooring language is in hand signals, from bowman Betty to helmsman Harry. Using the left hand pointing out, Harry knows to steer to port. Using the left hand pointing over the head, Harry knows to steer starboard. Using the left hand pointing forward, Harry knows to keep the boat straight. The left hand pointing down tells Harry to reverse. This is how you slow a boat down or stop it, especially if you're going against current or wind. The number of fingers that bowman Betty holds up tells Harry how close he is to the mooring. 1 finger is 1 boat length away, 2 fingers is 2 boat lengths away. Harry adjusts his speed using forward and reverse so that he gets to the mooring with very little speed. The gods are also menaces on releasing of a mooring. Helmsman Harry and bowman Betty have to coordinate the release of the mooring so that the god of ignorance or the god of arrogance do not have a say. If the mooring is not released properly, then the boat may motor over the mooring and become rudder or shaft moored. That is, the mooring catches on the rudder or wraps around the shaft. You'll be there a while if this happens. Betty points at where the pennant is when released. Harry should allow the boat to drift back in the wind unless the god of no wind is involved. Then Harry must drive off the mooring. Betty has to help him with the direction. Being able to safely and securely moor makes sailing more enjoyable and easier than anchoring. Learning how to properly moor requires good communication skills, awareness of what can go wrong, a plan to deal with those challenges, patience and perspective, and usually a good sense of humor goes a long way. I plan to tell this story using animations, hopefully cartoons. I'll be using video of proper mooring practices and hand signals, and I'll also try to include some blooper videos to re-emphasize what the water gods can do. I will include self-assessments to help reinforce these concepts. The characters are important to play their parts to help tell the story in an interesting and engaging way. I look forward to making this, and I look forward to the feedback from my peers to help me make it fun, playful, worthwhile, and educational.